I'm David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and this is Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. Whatever generation you're from, these guys are worth listening to.
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. I am Dwaine, and we are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. Wherever you are right now, thank you for being a part of our Survivor life. It's a fun life. My name is Dwaine, as I just said, and as always, I'm here with the guy who would take one look at the log in the Loved Ones Reward Challenge and tell his daughter, Gracie, sorry, hun, it ain't happening. My best friend, David Jones.
Now, the log moved. Did you see the log move? I got a little relief when I saw the log move. And actually, I think Andrea was underneath, but she was already just about out. And I could have swore the log moved. And I thought, okay, I could probably almost make it underneath that log.
Yeah, would have hope. Yeah. And, okay, let me introduce Carolyn first because I want to say something. I know she's going to want to laugh. So, all right. So here it goes. Joining us tonight from Survivor Worlds Apart, Carolyn Rivera.
Yeah.
How you doing, Carolyn?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are doing wonderfully and so glad that you came on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad because she motivated us to start early, so I might actually get to bed today.
Yeah. Last week.
Yeah, baby.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, baby.
I can't believe he stole my line. Like
Yeah.
I had that line before him.
So anyways,
He gets millions for it.
I'm thinking if you were in Ty's position and Michaela and who else was with Michaela and him? Anyway, and they were
Sierra.
pushing you under the log, that log would go flying up and hit Probst in the face. That's what would happen.
If that would get Probst to stop doing his talk show during the Loved Ones connection, I'd be happy with that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know.
All right. How long were you crying for that? I was crying a while.
Oh,
No,
I
you
cried at like
did
almost every connection, but until Probst started talking, then I got a little headache, and then I stopped crying then. But
Carolyn, you are not crying. Were you?
Why? Yes. You don't
You didn't
think
cry?
you're gonna cry?
David. No.
What
I
are
didn't
you,
cry.
inhuman? You didn't
oh
cry?
my gosh,
It's like,
Come on.
now that is unusual for a teenage boy to love his mom. Really?
No.
What world do you live in, Probst?
no, it wasn't that part. That's the part I didn't care for, but it was the husband and wife. It was the father and daughter. It was being a father, being a husband, being a brother, and seeing these connections and knowing that the game is still on, but at that moment they get to step out of the game for a split second, and they're with somebody like Sierra said. I can put my head on his shoulder and just be at peace. I don't have to think about anything right now.
I guess
So,
I
yeah,
just don't love
I
my
got checked out.
Right.
I must.
Well, I'm sorry.
Listen.
Dwayne.
Okay.
All right. So we'll get to the loved ones visit shortly. There are 2 episodes of Survivor remaining before the summer hiatus. Next week, David and I will handle the show with. Do we have it? David?
We do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek and Ryan will be with us next week.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, they apparently know David very well. David gets
Carolyn-
all these people. I don't
Carolyn's going, who? Nice. Who?
Derek
were they?
Meredith.
But nice. But nice.
Ryan Kaiser. Carolyn's like, they're nobody. I don't know them.
No, I think I do know Derek Meredith from Facebook, actually.
Yeah, most of the survivors have probably run across Derek because he's friends with almost all. He gets the finales and he hangs out there. So yeah, he knows a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much David and I are going to get in, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Hey, you do have a mute button, so
That's true. On Thursday, May 25th, my anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, my anniversary,
Woohoo!
May 25th, the day after the finale at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's in the afternoon. David and I will be live on our website and we'll thoroughly discuss the Survivor finale with the one and only. We haven't told anybody this yet, Carolyn.
Mm.
Kelly Wentworth.
Woohoo!
That's right. She's going to join us for the finale show. It's going to have a lot of fun. She's going to not have a choir above her singing Christmas music, and it's going to be great. So one last thing, if you are a D&D patron and you haven't watched the Kelly and Friends episode we did back in April of last year, be sure to check it out on our Patreon page. David, Kelly, and I were joined by Dale, Jeff Varner, Joe Anglem, and Sierra Dawn Thomas. And it was a lot of fun, so check it out. So we're streaming live. We got people in the chat room, although we started a half hour early, so no one knows we're on the air. Yeah.
And you still have people.
That's right.
There you go.
Here we go. Carolyn's like, I heard that the whole time I was on the island. Shut it off.
That's my ringtone.
Is it really? You are definitely living in the Survivor world.
Well, it's my ringtone for every Survivor friend.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So then I know who, if somebody's calling me,
Right.
it's a Survivor person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Carolyn, for those who are not watching, you are missing out because Carolyn went out and spent extra money to make sure that her shirt and her earphones matched. They looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
And my toenails, but you probably can't see them.
My socks match my
I
shirt.
can't turn them around. Yours what? Red. Okay, red socks. That's
All
good.
right, I have sufficiently pulled everything. All right, so tonight we're talking about episode 12, week 10. It's not a high without a low. Did anybody even say that?
There was a moment when Brad and Sierra were talking about being real low, and I would have guessed it was one of them, but I don't recall anybody saying that.
I don't remember it.
I wasn't really listening.
Remember that, Carolyn?
I'm trying to think, but every episode somebody says, so it has to be there somewhere. We just missed it.
Well, later on in the show, I have the perfect line that they should have used for the title. That's my phone.
Okay.
That's his ringtone.
Wow, how interesting.
No, it's Brad calling to say it was me.
Yeah,
I gave the title.
I got to put airplane mode, and so she doesn't call me anymore. Stop calling me a woman. All right. So, do y'all have any initial thoughts? I have 2 initial thoughts. David, do you have any?
Let's go with Carolyn's first.
All right, Carolyn, let's do yours first.
Well, I mean, okay. So what I find interesting about this season, first of all, is that everyone's flipping back and forth. You can never really tell like where things are going because I feel like it's almost the whim of the day, you know, like, oh my God, I think I'm going to go with that team today and that team tomorrow. I feel like the only 3 people maybe that were solid were Troy, Zan, Brad, and Sierra.
Right.
And then everyone else is up for grabs.
Yeah. It's been this way the whole season.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know.
As a player, do you, I guess, can you put yourself in that position and see and feel what it would be like to be? I mean, would you be more stressed? Would you be more comfortable? What do you think if you're a player?
I mean, honestly, it's hard. You know, when you look in from the outside, we don't know kind of what's going on behind the scenes. We don't get to hear all the things that happen at camp and, you know, the bonds that are either built or broken. So, I mean, I think it would be a whole lot of stress when you have to, you know.
Yeah. Well, look at
flip
Sierra.
every other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Mean, that poor Sierra, she's like every single day just clawing at the side of the well, trying not to fall to the bottom, you know?
Exactly. I mean, you know, as fast as she thought she was in the leadership position, you know, in a split second, 1 vote.
Yeah.
And the whole game changed.
Yeah. It's like, well, David and I talked about it last week. And in fact, it was one of my initial thoughts that I personally really like it. I think it brings more variety to the show for sure. And we're not having a pagonging, you know, where you know it's going to happen every single week. Now that's for us as a player. I think I would hate it, you know, just because, I mean, it's already stressful enough out there based on what y'all tell us. To never know is just got to be even more stressful.
Yeah, it's so hard because like we saw in the episode, I think we'll talk about it later, you know, like I honestly didn't even think that Sierra was going to go home. I thought that Andrea was going to go home, but
yeah.
See, I think what's
didn't play
going
out
to
that
be
way.
is if the right people get to the end and we get to hear their arguments, because Sarah has got she's got like 10 episodes worth of argument to make as to what she did. And I think she'd be good to do that. The question is, who does she go with? If she go with Ty, because I can see Ty sitting there going, wow, I'd vote for you if I was on the jury, you know, and then whoever else is sitting beside her at Final Tribal, you know, whether it be Troyzan or somebody that we haven't seen enough of. I mean, Sarah's got an argument you can't beat. So it's to me, it's to make this season have the right icing on the cake. It's got to have the right Final Tribal. And I know you want to take the people you know you can beat, but as fans, I'm hoping to see at least 2 good arguments come from Final Tribal and not just one.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Sarah's in a good position right now. She's got 2 advantages now, right?
Yeah.
Ty has 2 idols, and Troyzan has an idol. Like those things haven't even been a factor in the last 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. And it's driving Probst nuts. You know.
Yeah, I'm one of those that thinks production had a little fun with Ty, you know, and said, "So you found one at the other well? What about, huh?" And now they're sitting there going, why did Ty find the idols?
Yeah.
They're never coming out because everybody we talk to wants to take Ty to the end. Yeah. Why does Ty have so we got to get the idols away from Ty because we're never going to see those idols.
No. Well, let's see. It's final 8, right? So he's got, guaranteed 2 more tribals, right?
But will he even have to use them? No.
Right.
Doubt it.
Right. I agree.
You know?
I mean, if he was smart, he would use them for people he didn't want to go home, right?
Right.
If he doesn't need them.
Like last night.
I mean, he
would have been a time.
Sierra, he could have, right? But then he flipped again, right? Because he voted against Sierra.
Yeah.
Right.
But he saved Sierra in
right.
I don't know, week 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, poor Sierra's going home and Ty, you saved her once.
So what if Ty had given Sierra an idol and told her flat out, Michaela is not going to vote with you. She's going to vote against you. But I'm going to vote with Michaela and Sari and Aubrey. And you guys vote out Andrea while we vote out you, but you play that idol on you. He's got 2 idols, but that gives him a chance to control that group and not lose face with the group that he's voting with. They don't know he's giving her the idol.
Yeah, but what you
say
right. And then he would have been playing both sides. That would have been brilliant.
And he gets rid of a challenge threat and a strategist,
Right.
I don't know if he's taking that far into the game.
Doesn't even know he did it.
Exactly.
Y'all realize we're talking about Ty, right?
We're fantasizing how last night could have gone.
The things you just said would never come out of his mouth. This is what Ty says whenever you talk to him. Exactly.
I like that. Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Exactly.
But Ty's so sweet. You just want to hug him.
Last night when Michaela got to him and he immediately locked on with Michaela and called her his closest person. I said, shut up, Dwaine. I know she's the last person he just talked to. So just stop. Because he's been saying that every week of this. Whoever gets him last gets him.
Who did production tell Ty to go talk to last?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I have an initial thought since David pushed his to Carolyn. I'm going to push it to me. Is that okay, David?
How about you pull it to you?
Okay, I'll pull it to me. If you say this in Survivor, I'm about to throw a Hail Mary here, and maybe I shouldn't. Don't do it. That's what Sierra said, and she was right. She shouldn't have done it.
Yep.
Why?
Because Sarah voted her out.
Well, I think the Hail Mary part was the final bit of information she shared. Whereas this is good at final 6, and if I don't stay in the game, you can have it. I'm going to give it to you.
But that was her Hail Mary. Her Hail Mary is saying, I'm going to give it to you if I get voted out.
Right.
I'm not talking about sharing the advantage. I'm talking about telling Sarah, I'm going to give it to you. Because if I'm Sarah, I'm going, oh, good. I'm going to vote you out.
Exactly what she did.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
There
Well, it's
you
like
go.
Dwayne's telling me he's got the winning lottery ticket, but he can't turn it until Monday. But if something happens to him over the weekend, he's going to will it to me. Well, he's never going to see Monday.
Right. All of a
He's-
sudden, my brakes don't work. Right.
That's right.
I wake
So-
up with a bag over my face.
I mean, I couldn't reach into the TV fast enough to tell her, stop. Don't say, oh,
Right.
she said it. Oh,
Right.
well, bye, Sierra.
It was too late. And then what? Sarah told, who did she tell?
It was great because she waited until she needed to tell Michaela. And she told her just enough to flip Michaela back because what did they say? Oh, my gosh. Michaela says, don't do anything to mess this up. Sierra says, yeah, don't do anything stupid. And then I wrote, except go tell somebody else. It's not in that group because you had the numbers. You had 5 voting Andrea and 4 not. But you went and told the person that you thought. So as bad as Sierra's move was to tell the last bit of information, high praise to Sarah for gaining so much trust and playing such an undercover agent in this whole season.
Right.
Man, if she doesn't get to the end, oh my gosh, what a great season she's played. So I mean, as disappointed as I was that Sierra shared that last bit, I'm just in awe of how Sarah has played, especially this past episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She showed herself to be a true criminal this episode, and we'll talk about that.
Exactly. I'm like, girl, you're a cop. Chill out, baby.
But Sarah has nothing tying her to Sierra at all that would make her feel obligated to keep Sierra around. If anything, now she has even more reason to get rid of her so she can get the legacy advantage. So,
and she got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then she lies. The door is not closed on you. I hope you don't need to give it to me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, David, do you have an initial thought?
My only initial thought was this was the most telegraphed episode I think we've had this season. From Sierra revealing that information way too early, from Brad knowing he had to win immunity, from Brad leading that team. We knew once he started throwing sandbags, he was going to win the challenge one way or another.
Right.
I just felt like every little bit was predictable. And I just enjoyed the end of it, how Sarah worked it to her favor and even threw in a little bit of acting at the end just to show shock.
Well, see, you obviously have a better eye for this because I didn't know Sierra was going home.
I honestly thought Andrea was going home.
Yeah. So much for your telegraphing.
No, it was obviously right because she did go home. But what I'm saying is not only that, but I really enjoyed Michaela this week talking through everything. That was another initial reaction. This was a survivor Michaela. This is a girl that's getting deep in the game, and this is how I like to hear people talk. The whole episode, she talked about, well, this would be good or this would be good. I'll make that decision. Ooh, I'm going to do this decision. Oh man, new information. Now I'm going to do this decision.
Right. That's
what I love to hear in the game of Survivor. And I thought Michaela had a really good episode for that too.
Yeah. Now, okay. So you said, well, it doesn't matter what you said. It's awesome what you said. I have one more. It is important what you said. I don't need to respond to it the way I was going to respond to it. I have one more initial thought. Does anybody else have one before I say mine?
No.
The title of the episode should have been We Don't Need No Steak. We Don't Need No Steak by Troy Zan.
That was awesome.
That should have been the title of the show.
That was hilarious.
I mean, they played it right before a commercial. It was like perfect. It was great. Why not give Troy Zan the show title? Come on.
Exactly.
I know.
Hashtag we don't need no steak.
We don't need no steak. All right. Okay. Do y'all think there's some? I know I'm jumping ahead, but do you think there's something going on with Sarah's son that Probst was trying to get out, but they didn't go for it?
Well, Carolyn might know. How old is he?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking Carolyn. I said she might
actually don't know, but I actually think Sarah's son is a baby.
I do too. Something like it just had a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of felt like Probst was trying to. Don't y'all want to tell everybody what's wrong with your son? Because he did the whole. Did you give her an update on your son?
Right.
Bit. So I just thought maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to see if there's any pictures on Facebook.
There you go. All right, so we're back at camp while Carolyn's looking that up, and we will get right back to that if she finds something. Ty wants to know what happened. Ty is surprised.
Andrew's like, why do I need to tell you what you didn't know?
Yeah.
She did it very nicely. No, we don't need to talk about it. We knew what we did, and now you do too.
Right.
So.
Has Michaela stood by what she wanted to do at all lately? It's like she keeps saying, I don't want to vote this way. I don't want to vote this way. And at the end of the episode, she votes that way.
Well, she's alone. She doesn't really have a choice.
Right. Her and Ty are together. I think they're together because they're alone now. I think that's a great match. And she said that later on. And I think it's smart what she's doing, though, because as long as she's not the target, she's playing Sandra. As long as it's not her, she will vote with the majority as they tell her to vote, whether she likes it or not. But knowing in the back of her mind, that person's still on her radar. She does not want to get to the – and Sierra made a great point. Whoever goes with Andrea is going to lose. Whoever goes with Sari is going to lose. I don't know if she said Sari, but Andrea's going to lose. Michaela knows this. I think Michaela's found Ty and like, you know what? You're alone, so I'm going to work with you. But right now, we're still in contact with the majority. Let's vote with the majority.
And if she doesn't start doing stuff, she's not going to win anyway. Like,
right.
She's got to make some moves.
Right. And I think, well, I'm fantasizing, I guess, thinking out that her way of winning is to take out Sarah, Andrea, and Sari, and maybe Culpepper, and take Troyzan and Ty. She's got to start putting notches on her belt.
Yeah.
But and I'm telling you, she had some great lines this episode, and one of them was, when is the right time to make the move?
Yeah.
Is this the right time to vote out Sierra over Andrea? I guess it is, but still, because Sierra has that advantage. That was a big thing and I agree with Michaela. You take out somebody with an advantage. She didn't know Sarah was getting it, but she knew that Sierra had an advantage. But at the same time, she's going to have to start putting notches on her belt, because you're right, Carolyn. She's not going to have enough resume to get votes if she doesn't do something before the end.
Yeah. I don't think she's going to be able to, because Sarah's outplaying everybody right now. I mean, she is.
Yeah, I don't think she has really people behind her.
Mm-mm. So
one person is not going to really help her. There's still 8 people left.
Yeah.
And she's had the reputation all season of not being the happy camper.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, it was funny, David. You said Michaela and Ty. Oh, let's see. Hold on. She's showing us a picture. Let me put her on the screen.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's cute little boy.
So I think it's just that he's a baby.
Yep.
A cute boy.
All right.
Yeah.
So she would have been out there last summer.
Mike says she was pregnant at Kagayan in the finale.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I thought was funny, David, was
she was?
Well, that's what Mike K says, and he's Encyclopedia Mike.
Okay. He knows.
Yeah, I guess. Was you said Michaela and Ty were like great together, unless they're in a challenge. They don't work so well together in a challenge. Or poor Ty. He's like, those moms that had their kids on leashes and they just kind of yank them around the store. Yeah, that's kind of Ty on Michaela's leash. Yeah.
I thought they'd have done better too, because didn't they have Sarah? I think it was Ty, Michaela, and Sarah. Oh,
I don't know, man.
It was Sierra, Sari, and who was the guy on there?
Troyzan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're the tallest female and the slowest, right?
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
going back to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I mean, Brad is just such a challenge beast that pretty much whatever team he's on is one notch above the rest.
And he also had Andrea, who's a female challenge beast,
right?
And Aubrey, who's not a slouch. Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to say something about back at camp on the first night. Just again, we see Sari working it. She knows how to work those people. She's working Michaela. She's working Sarah. She's talking to them all. And just every time you watch Sari, she's playing her game and doing a good job. So, in fact, now I just wrote in the chat room, Sari seems like she's quietly pulling all the strings. Sarah is just more overt. That's what Bruce says.
She does. I got notes in that same scene because she brings up the fact that Ty was left out of that threesome. So now he might be one to flip to us.
Right.
But I love, and like we were just talking about with Michaela, you got to have notches on your belt, I think, to get votes, especially on a second chance season. These are veteran jury members, so they're not first time. This is not their first experience. This is their second time, and they want to vote. I was talking to a guy today at work. You want to vote for somebody that you're okay with winning your season. We've heard that before from our friends, and it's if I'm stuck on a vote between one or two, it might come down to who I'm proud representing my season if I'm really that tight. But Michaela needs notches on her belt. And for that matter, so does Sarah. And I think one of the notches Sarah's looking towards is Sari, because I love Sarah's line when Sari is bringing up tie flip and Sarah says, so what is our next thought? In my plan, I want to know your plan, and I want you to think I'm part of your plan so that I can take you out sooner rather than later. I love that was Sarah's thought. She learned you don't throw out a name. So I think so-and-so. And I think Michaela's still got to learn that. But Sarah's question was, what is our next thought? As in, give me orders, boss. And then sooner or later, Sari's going to be on that jury. She's going to go, man, Sarah played me good. And I think Sarah's hoping to add Sari to her belt.
Yeah, I think that's a good thought. Yep.
And Sari's other point was break up a pair. And I like that she didn't say break up that alliance or break up the core, but break up a pair. And I think about John and Jacqueline, how they were just a voting block, and Aubrey and Joe, they were just a voting block. The two of them together, they voted together no matter what, as long as it suited them. And whether you break up that alliance or not, because that alliance is now down to 3, but you still break up a pair that's voting together. That's right. 2 solid votes against you. And that was a great point I thought she made.
Yeah.
Because honestly, other than Brad and Troyzan now, there aren't really any tight pairs.
Right. Yeah. Brad and Troyzan can be picked off, or they can be pulled to one side or the other. Like Sarah said, I hate to flip on these guys, but I want to win. I want to play. Right. And these guys are the same way.
Yeah. All right. So if you go back to the next morning, that's when we get the Sarah and Sierra talking. We've already talked about that. If you don't remember what the legacy advantage is, it's the immunity that can be used at 6. So Sarah will have that to her advantage in a couple of episodes. And that's all I got for day 30.
If she makes the finale, it should be the first, because we're getting 2 boots next week. We got it in the press release already.
Oh, really?
Next episode, there's 2 tribal councils, so it's not a medical evac. So we'll be down to 6 for the finale. So the first tribal, Sarah's, if she makes it that far, she's free and clear.
Right. So they're going to get basically 2 episodes in 1 hour.
Yes.
Oh, really? It's only 1 hour?
Well, there's probably the 2 challenges are going to be immunity challenges.
Well, yeah,
I guess it's 1 hour.
Challenge. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of reward challenge.
Yeah. So, basically, you're just going to see 2 challenges and 2 tribals.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're going to see back at camp. You're going to hear some stuff, and then you're going to go boom, challenge or immunity challenge. Back at camp, who's going to go home? Immunity. Yeah. I mean, tribal council, and then the same thing all over again.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe it's only an hour, though. Oh, well.
Oh, well, maybe they were hoping they always like plan extra in case someone gets medevaced, and no one got medevaced.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So on the reward challenge, they're playing for food and loved ones, family. And this is where Carolyn and David get all mushy and crying. So I'll just.
I love the loved ones challenge.
Me too.
I do. It's motivation. It's time, and especially for Brad, who I'm a fan of, because I really don't remember Brad being evil in Blood versus Water, but apparently people thought he was. But
Carolyn, what do you really think?
He was. I love him now. I love Brad now, but in Blood versus Water, he was evil.
He was arrogant.
No question.
He was confident.
I couldn't wait for him to go home.
Maybe
you're arguing with someone who. You're arguing with Carolyn. She's got you beat.
I'm not supposed to agree with everything she says, and she's never going to agree with everything I say. So that's part of the discussion.
Yeah, but this one is a little, one-sided.
Okay, so sticking to this season, I like Brad. I'm pulling for Brad, and I love that he got his Cochran moment with Monica. Whether she's the smartest player in the world, I'm actually a fan of Monica too. I liked her when she played, and
love Monica.
I think she got the well-off mom non-vote. I don't know what they call that, but I just don't think they respected her game as much as they should have. But I love that he got his time away from her. Yeah, I'll do the grilling. Come on, Monica, let's go do the grilling. And then he gets away and he just starts talking. And it's like what Debbie had with Cochran. She can say anything she wants. It's not going to get back to anybody else. And he gets a sounding board. And she is so intent listening to him. And I know I've skipped to the reward already, but I love this part of the challenge. So, but getting back to the loved ones part, I would rather they make the immunity challenge last 30 seconds and have a longer loved ones challenge where the loved ones are involved some way in the challenge. I really
like that. Also, they used to do that all the time with the loved ones, and they would be part of the challenge.
Yep.
But they don't. I mean, they haven't done it in a while. But I would honestly like doing that. But you have to make the challenge kind of
fair,
not hard for, if it's a mom or an older dad or whatever, so that it wouldn't be so one-sided.
It can't be climb over this 6-foot wall and carry a 20-pound ball over your head.
Right. It could be a caller challenge. Blindfold the survivor and have the loved one call out directions for him. It could be as simple as that. But
I saw that one once
with the loved ones.
Wasn't it? It was on Carolyn's season.
Yeah, it wasn't the loved one. I mean, we had the blindfold. That was when they were practicing it.
Oh, that's right.
Mike's mother was teaching him kind of how to get through there, but
that's what I was thinking.
In the caller challenge, which we also had on my season, I was the caller.
Yeah, and Kelly was the victim of the drop.
And Kelly was the 6 stitches later victim.
Yeah. But anyway, I love the loved ones episode almost as much as I love the merge episode, and I loved all the connections, especially Michaela and her mom. I thought that was great. I loved Monica and Brad, how he left the circle. Brad, stay in the circle. I'm sorry, that's my wife over there. And I loved, hey, men, pay attention. Marriage 101. The first thing you tell your wife when you see her after 30 days, you look fantastic. I love that. That was his first line to Monica.
Yeah. If you haven't seen your wife for 30 days, darn right she looks wonderful.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, so as you're watching the loved ones bond, you can tell which ones are closer to each other than the others. Some of it was like, okay, we've got to really act like we're bonding, even though it's just kind of like, hey, I'm glad you're here. And other ones, it was like, oh, I'm so glad you're here.
You thought some weren't that tight?
Absolutely. I felt that way. Not like totally like didn't love each other. Just, they weren't as emotional as some of the other ones. They didn't seem as close.
So if instead of Connie or your boys came out, it was your sister, would you not be
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
It's like but it's still a connection to home. It's still a moment to take you out of the game and have your connection to home. I'm sorry, I'm arguing with you, Dwaine, since you pointed out.
No, I don't mind. Feel free.
We found out where the chicken's name came from.
Well, now, see, you wouldn't even have your wife come out to see you. Well,
no,
actually,
she wouldn't come out.
She wouldn't come.
Right. She wouldn't come out there.
All right. If dirt or sand is involved.
Not happening.
No.
No, she would go out there, but you're right. For fear of having to go in the water or do some sort of challenge, she'd send one of my girls. Okay,
so talking about the loved ones giving advice. Of course, really the only ones we saw were Brad and Monica. Sari gave her son advice on where to go to the bathroom, but Brad and Monica.
That was pretty funny. Her son was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing out here?"
Right.
Somebody asked me at work what I thought of Jared was his name. I said, you mean the future Survivor player, Jared? Because I can just see them wanting the male version of Sari to come out there since he doesn't go outdoors much either.
Right. They're already set up for it. Right.
That's right.
So I'm thinking, all right, so Brad's asking Monica for in-game advice, right? This is what's going on. This is what's going on. What do you think I should do? Can someone who hasn't been on the island with you for those 30 days really give you practical? Now, I'm not talking about like encouraging things and broad advice, but can they really give you practical, you really should vote that person off? They haven't been there. So how they don't know all the context. They don't know all of the relationships. So can you really get that kind of advice from them, or is it going to be more, encouragement? Remember the big picture, remember this philosophy, or whatever.
Oh no, they were definitely strategizing, and I'm pretty sure he told her everything in the amount of time that they had together.
Okay.
I honestly would think that she would be a good person. Like, she would give him great advice, because it is very clear as day, that Brad changed his whole game because Monica taught him what to do. Like, Monica changed Brad to make him successful this season.
Yeah. What would Monica do?
Coached him, told him exactly what to do.
Yeah. I would be willing to bet that once they won the challenge and the loved ones came beside him, I didn't really pay attention, but I would be willing to bet that Monica was 98% paying attention to the rest of the players, especially when he said, you got to pick somebody else, because that was her comment was, did you see Michaela's reaction? Did you see how she reacted? Because I'm sure, like Carolyn just said, Brad said, we're in trouble. We're down. We had a flipper. We lost our numbers. We had control of this whole game, and now we're down. So I need your thoughts on what to do, how to go forward. She could even give him more advice. I mean, he's trying to do what Monica would do, but at the same time, now he's got Monica right there saying, I would do this. I would do this. This did not work for me. Did you see so-and-so? Did you see Ty's reaction? Did you see Troy's end? He nodded. He was okay with it. I would think Monica went out there with the 99% purpose of being a partner in the game for those few minutes that she was there.
Okay, well then I don't think
I want to know. I didn't see them talking when they picked. I felt like Andrea made that decision,
and they were calling Brad. The one Sari and Sarah.
Sierra said, "Brad, come on, Brad, like pick me."
Yeah, so did Troy's.
But who? Yeah, because Andrea picked the people.
That's what we got. I would imagine there was probably at least another 10 seconds of maybe looking back and forth, but he did not seem to have much of a say. It looked like it was more like Andrea looking at Aubrey and then them picking. Of course, they picked two people they were close to.
Yeah, and it was because, they have the numbers, so Brad didn't want to shake it up and bring all his people, Like, he wanted to schmooze with the other team so to see if he could get, anybody to come over.
All right, so here's a question for you.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dwaine.
I'm just having to let y'all talk till I can get back to my point. I don't think y'all proved my question wrong. Now, sure, Monica gives incredible practical advice, but is Andrea's mom going to give her great advice? Is Aubrey's sister going to give her great in-game advice? Is Troyzan's brother going to give him great in-game advice? No. It's going to be practical advice. Monica and Brad are a totally different animal. But the other ones, like Jason, what's he going to tell his mom? Nothing. Okay, here's the alliances. What do you think I should do?
No, I think the best thing they can get from them is encouragement. Is you can do that, especially from Michaela's mom. She's going to get encouragement saying, girl, you've made it this far. You look amazing, and this, that, and the other. No, I agree with you. There's not much you're going to get from, like, what did Joel, well, you only got a few minutes with Joel, right? When he was on Worlds Apart?
Yeah, literally 5, like a minute. And we didn't talk about the game at all.
Yeah. Was Mike the only one that got
we didn't have any time. Huh?
Was Mike the only one that got his mom? Nobody else got any loved ones? Wow.
Nobody else. Yeah, because his mom came to our camp for the night.
You know what I like, Dwaine?
For her, it wasn't really a win. She had to sleep outside on the in the shelter. Yeah.
I like when Dwaine has to go to the chat room and comment. So
yeah.
But my other question is, okay, Dwaine, are you good? Are you happy now that we
baby?
Okay, good. Here's my question. If you're Brad, Mama C, if you're Brad last night and you won reward, there's two people that are never going to trust you, Andrea and Aubrey. They're not going to work with you. Would you consider, after seeing Michaela's betrayal that she felt from them, Ty left over there in tears probably from not getting to see Mark, would you consider passing up your reward to like someone you trust, like Sierra or Troyzan, to let them go with them and you stay back and try to make up with Ty and try to pull over Michaela? Would you consider doing that?
It's hard to say. You know, you got to feel it in the game. I mean, I just don't know from Brad's point of view. He thought he had 2 of his team members doing that. So what would be the difference of, you know, him giving it to Troy Zano Sierra and then him sitting there?
True.
I don't know. I mean,
that's a good point.
In his mind, he's got 2 of his peeps back there doing their thing, bringing them in, you know, bonding, whatever. And then he feels like probably he's on, you know, the lower end of the totem pole, bonding with hopefully, you know, 4 people or whatever that are against him, you know? So I don't know whether it would have done anything.
That's a good point, especially in this situation, because Brad did pass up food so the merge people could have food. So he did give up on that. He's trying to be a provider. Plus, like you said last time, he left Troyzan behind to get information and try and lock things up. This time he's leaving 2, like you just pointed out, but he also gets Monica. He gets advice from a 2-time player who did really well. And that's a good point. So in this game situation, it was probably to his advantage to stay in the reward and get to spend more time with her. I'm just the one of those that's always thinks about, I have it, but do I need it? Because I've told Gracie and my daughter Bailey, if you come out there and we hugged, we're not winning this challenge, by the way. You know, because I don't want to be somebody that picks. I don't want to do this.
Oh, I've always said that, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but you know what though? When you're out there and you haven't seen him for 30 days,
true.
You know, that to heck with the game. I want to be with my loved one.
Well, see, Cochran knew he wasn't going to win in Caramoa, and so he and his mom just walked through the challenge. One of the funniest moments of that season.
Talked.
That's hilarious. How was your flight? Was it good?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so before we move on to we've already talked about the reward, but before we move on to the 4 people left back at camp, I have a few things to say about the actual challenge.
Oh, there was a challenge? Okay.
Yeah. First of all, poor Ty was being literally plummeted into just pile drived into the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of humorous.
That was premature. Like, he's so tiny. You probably just needed to dig a little bit deeper.
Right.
Why are they shoving him through? He's like 10 pounds.
Yeah, just dig a little more. But the team that had the greatest strategy was the one that put Sari through first. Because once you get Sari through, everybody else can go through. That was the smart strategy.
True. Good point.
So
send me through first, then you 2 come through together.
Yeah,
me.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we had to bring a backhoe in, but yeah.
To put the log back in place. That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was a good strategy, get Sierra through first, because, normally at first glance, you might think, okay, well, let's save the hardest for last,
right.
But no, do the hardest one first. And the rest.
And the problem is you can't go back to the other side to dig while she's trying to get through.
Right. Exactly. So
yeah, good point.
Take advantage of it while you can.
You're only allowed on the one side.
Yeah.
But, and didn't they have another digging underlog challenge this season? Because they finally learned that you do head first, not feet first.
Oh, yeah. Nobody. No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there were some others that went feet first.
Huh?
Didn't somebody try to go feet first?
Not in this one. Not in this one. Earlier this season, I'm pretty sure there was an underlog challenge. And
there's definitely one last season.
Feet first, and they couldn't get through. Remember?
Right.
They were trying to kick it with the.
Yeah.
And it's head first.
Always. And
always.
On your back, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Yes.
That was it. They were doing feet first, but on their stomachs. Yeah, it was some of them. I don't remember which one it was, but it was definitely.
Have to build like a 20-foot trench to go underneath.
I'm spitting sand just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Ty loves sand. He takes sand baths. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, head to toe.
Yeah. All right. So the 4 left back at camp, even if they hate each other, are all of a sudden going to become best buds. They're going to work together the whole rest of the game, and all this wonderful love and talk and all this kind of great stuff. Which
for 10 minutes.
Matter. Do what, Carolyn?
For 10 minutes.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes. Of course, Ty's like, excellent.
This is another one of those moments, that played into the earlier part when Cerise said Ty's a free agent now. Maybe he'll flip to us. So what does Michaela do? She starts talking to Ty. So good on Michaela. It worked out for her.
Right. But that's what I wrote. The 4 left back at camp are best buds until the groups get back together, and then it's lost.
Right.
So I still like Troyzan's line. We don't need no steak. Anyway. All right. Let's see. Back at camp, the only other thing I have is Carolyn, is it at all possible on a loved one's visit to not be upset if they don't pick you?
No.
Okay. And do you
It's impossible.
And do you always take it personally?
Yes.
That was Michaela's reaction.
Because it is like day 30, right? Or 31, I don't even know. You're starving. Everyone hates you. You feel like you have nobody. That's like salvation, having your loved one there.
And so for someone to not give you that, you take it very personally.
You hate them. You just want to, It's not, it's not pretty.
And what's odd is you often hear from the one who didn't choose them that they were thinking very logically. I didn't pick them because I knew they would be able to work back at camp. And
right.
And the other person
doesn't make you feel any better. Yeah. Doesn't make you feel any better.
Yeah, we got one person that acts sometimes like a brat. She eats more food than she's supposed to. She goes off the handle a few times, but I'm sure this won't set her off. She'll be fine in 24 hours.
That's what
absolutely.
Was it Andrea that said that?
Yes. 24 hours. She'll forget all about it and she'll be fine.
She'll be okay. She'll be okay.
I like Michaela's. I like Michaela's comment at camp when she says she feels like she's being taken advantage of. She's starting to see that, and this was kind of like an awakening for her. And I hope she keeps the advice that Sari told her about. You got to change your face. You got to calm down. You got to not show people what you're thinking, and that's so important. And I hope she sees this. And the way she talks to Ty was really good. I thought that was. I mean, anybody can talk to Ty and be good, but Ty was eating it up because she said, "I'm alone. You're alone. We're perfect. We're perfect to work together." And he even says that I feel closest to Michaela now. That's so good on her.
But Ty's a emotional.
Yes.
Like he felt close to her then. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow,
right.
or
Right.
It's funny when at the first scene, at the nighttime scene after tribal, he looks at Troyzan, Sierra, and Brad and says, "So you 3 voted for me?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, Sarah, he voted for you. Bring that up too. He didn't vote for Zeke. He voted for Sierra. It's like, well, you voted for me, but we didn't hear that side. We just saw Ty, sensitive Ty,
right.
get a little bothered, and he held it in well. But he's like, "So you guys voted for me?" Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Nope. Nothing for back at camp. You ready for the immunity challenge?
Oh yeah. Is it over? Okay. Sorry.
Okay, but honestly. Can you get a more beautiful location than where they are? Oh my goodness.
No,
it was gorgeous.
Like literally in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. I mean,
on an island.
Why go anywhere else? Why go to an island where you can't do water things? Why not go to Fiji all the time?
Yeah.
I don't
absolutely.
Understand that. I mean, they're not going to go back to Africa, and they're certainly not going to do a cold climate. So why not just stick to the really nice ones? Anyway, so what would be the best strategy with this challenge?
Brad's.
Is that the best?
Brad's strategy was the best. Well, it seemed like everybody that went for the angles ended up losing their connection. I mean, his was jammed in the sides, and he was trying not to move.
He never went up like this?
Yeah, I don't even know how Michaela held it up for so long because she was like this.
Yeah.
And not in the holes.
Right.
Like leaning. Like I think you have to go in tight, and
yeah.
And I know that's harder on your arms, but
that's what Brad's built for.
I don't know.
So that's why I figured he had a good, especially when he said earlier, I need to win this challenge. So they're counting on this angle, thinking it's going to be better on their arms or upper arms just to keep it up, use their elbows. But everybody that dropped, eventually one of the pegs came out of the hole. whereas Brad's just jamming them together, trying to hold as long as possible.
Right.
So,
and yeah, it's a lot of core because you're standing on that like balance beam. So you're balancing. So that's all core and arms.
Yeah.
Right. So if you hold your stomach in and tight and focus on those two things, what was it? Like 20 some odd minutes, right? That's what they made it.
Like in 18 minutes, I think they came right to the
problem is tight and my stomach are never in the same sentence. That's just not happened in a very long time.
Yeah.
So maybe this might not have been your favorite challenge.
Yeah, I probably would have just like walked up there and went, okay, I'm done.
Dwayne would have said, is there food coming to entice us?
You get off.
No.
Any donuts? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
You offer me a donut, I'll just drop.
Yeah, I mean, it won't take much to get me off this.
And I'll take 2 of them with me. I'll just go sideways.
Yeah. So I always love how, right? So Brad wins, Culpepper wins, and over on there, they're like, oh, we hate.
Yeah, and they're like, God damn it.
Little courtesy clap.
Yes, too bad for Sierra. Oh,
yeah, they're hating life right then and there. Did you see Andrea's face? Andrea's like, oh.
Yeah.
There's the face. That's it.
I hate you for winning.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what's
so excited for you? I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, Carolyn, what's the group dynamic out there for that? You know, what I mean, you're sitting there and nobody wants to clap. So why do they clap? Because one person starts it, so they all do it, or how's that happen?
No, you just clap.
You just clap because it's the nice thing to do.
You just clap. I mean,
better than you.
You're not super psyched about it. Like every time Mike won a challenge, I was like, gosh. So excited.
Yeah, I bet you were as you watched the money slip away. Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can say you're the only person to interrupt his streak. So
yeah.
True.
So I think Jeff Pittman put on Twitter something about, Probst said in all of your time on Survivor. And Jeff Pittman was like this was his 5th immunity challenge. It's not that long.
Yeah.
Survivor. So there you get Probst doing some more of his
dramatization.
Dramatization.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So can we get off this challenge now? Because we've already spent 10 minutes more than I wanted to talk about it, really. But I like the clapping thing. That was a neat little topic.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. How about we talk about
there's nothing else to say about it.
Yeah. How about the 4 that are at the well, right? And they all agree on a decision. So I'm one of those 4, and I'm at the well, and we all make the decision, and me and the other 2 walk off, thinking we're all going to walk off, and the other 2 go, "Hey, come here, let's talk." That's going to put up a red flag for me.
Right.
Right? I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to come back. What are y'all talking about still? I thought we decided on this."
Was there somebody always talking at Worlds Apart, Carolyn, especially after the merge? Was there somebody always going around, like Dwayne was saying, and moving on to the next conversation, moving to the next conversation?
There's always people talking. Always. So, and people, like they'll walk over there. They'll be like, "Oh, let's go to the other." Well, we had like the beach, and then we had like the lake. Yeah. And so people would just go and sit in that lake. Then we found out it was like dirty, parasite, disgusting lake that we literally sat in every single day. It was disgusting. Really? Yeah.
Wait. How did you find that out?
Somebody, I forgot who told me. I was like, what? I used to go there and wash my hair every single day.
I mean, like after the show they told you? Or like
yeah, after the show.
Oh.
No, after the show.
Wow. So production the whole time knows what you're doing and doesn't say anything.
Production doesn't really talk to you out there.
I know. Except to offer you a candy bar and then take it back.
No. Who did he offer a candy bar?
No,
I want to know.
No, I'm joking.
I know.
I'm joking.
You can't reveal secrets on the air. So
no.
So did you have a code word that when you're talking to now, who is your tightest? Who is your closest ally out there?
Tyler.
So if you and Tyler are talking on the beach and you're talking about trying to get Mike out, especially after you won a challenge, and Mike suddenly walks up. So do you have a cue to stop the conversation and turn it, or do you just stop talking and let him walk up?
Well, we always talked in a hidden spot, so they never saw us.
Oh.
So what was your secret word to Tyler that said, I'm about to stab you in the back? What was that word?
I didn't have that word. That was like, oh my God, I'm cursed.
I was just wondering, I was just,
Listen, just so we're clear, okay? Tyler was coming after me that day, all back at camp. That was Rodney's birthday. Okay, so I went on the reward challenge, and then Rodney was up in arms, and he was talking to the 4 guys back at camp all about getting Mama C out, and Tyler was chiming in to that conversation. And then I won immunity, so they couldn't vote me out. That's how it went down. So don't think he's so innocent, and he got the backstabber thing, and I got the backstabber. I don't know. I was the backstabber. He was like this saint.
Yeah, he was not happy with you.
He was not happy with me, clearly, because he didn't vote for me, which he should have. But
yeah. So
I'm still bitter.
Right? Sierra voted for you, right?
Yes.
And why do you think she voted for you?
Because I played a good game. I don't know.
Oh, I thought maybe she had told you afterwards or something. That's okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
She told me she thought I played a good game. That's why.
Well, there you go.
She voted for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tyler didn't because he was mad.
So,
go ahead, David.
I was gonna say we're back at camp after the challenge, and everybody that has Ty on their fantasy team celebrated because he got another confessional for like the first time in like a month. So, and Patty asked, "When's he going to play the idols?" And I think he's forgotten he's got the idols. I don't even think.
My favorite conversation of the episode happened at day 32. Am I stealing your thunder, David? Did you want to talk about it?
No, go ahead.
So Sarah's working Sierra so she can get the advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sierra, I mean, it's us, right? Sarah, I love you. You're like it girl out here. Sierra, I'm with you. Sarah, like on a real level. Criminal Sarah. Just lying right out of her mouth. Just whatever she has to say to get that advantage. And I just think that's great. I love it. Way to go.
I thought it was smart. And that's when I knew that Sierra was going home. As soon as she told her that last part. And they tried to give us the clip of, so say something about keeping Sierra. Well, now she told me this stuff I want to think about keeping her. Now say the truth. Oh, she's gone as soon as possible. Because she just told me that I've got a free pass at Final 6 if she's gone, and somehow or another she's going to get gone. And sure enough, Sierra goes and tells Sarah about the vote for Andrea.
Right.
After they just said don't do something stupid, she tells her about the vote, and Sarah turns around and smartly figures out a way to get Sierra out and make it seem important. And she goes to Michaela, who I think is playing smart, playing in the middle, and tells her about she's got an advantage. She's got like an idol at Final 6. And production's like, that's not all she said. And Sarah's like, yeah, it is. That's all she said. She's got an idol at Final 6. We need, yeah.
And
Kayla's like, okay, I'll go back.
And good for Sarah. Not only did she do that, she also got say her name.
Sierra
to not know that she voted for her. I mean, Sierra's like, I hope you didn't vote for me, as she gives her the advantage.
Well, she should have counted the votes.
Well, she didn't.
I read in one of her exit interviews that she had a matter of minutes to sit down at a table and make that will it to somebody else. She had minutes, and about 48 hours later, it hit her with the votes at Ponderosa that Sarah was the one that voted her out.
Right.
So
yeah.
So this is
I didn't ask her, but I was wondering why she wouldn't give it to Brad. Or Troy's there.
Yeah.
I think for a split second, she thought Brad voted with the other group and voted her out. She counted Troy's in, and Ty is voting with her, and maybe Sarah, but it's
so
that split second cost her.
Saying she didn't have enough time to really think it through, and she just went with what she said.
Right.
So here you have, and this is what I thought was so interesting. You have Sierra, who over the last 2 or 3 episodes has been, like I said earlier, barely holding on. And then you have Aubrey, who's just like going through the whole game, not worrying about anything. I would so want to be an Aubrey, but I'd probably be a Sierra. But
Yeah, but
isn't it
you don't
crazy?
want to be co-wrong, Aubrey, because she did all the work and got none of the credit.
I'm not talking about co-wrong though. I mean, I'm talking about right now. You have, how crazy is it that you have two people in this game and one person is totally not in trouble, not ever thinking she's in trouble, everything's going great, and the other one is constantly fighting. I just think it's really unique to this game,
Well,
and I like it.
I find it interesting that Cerie's not in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
You know, like she's a 4-time player that's made it to the end, like what, every single time?
Yeah.
Like, don't people see that?
You should be getting her out.
Yeah, along your lines of Aubrey, there's Ty, who's not been mentioned to be a vote out, and there's Troyzan, who's not been mentioned to be a vote out. The bad thing about being Aubrey this season is if, according to the edit, if you're on the jury, why are you going to vote for Aubrey when there's probably somebody there that's supposedly done more work? That's why Andrea's a target. That's why, Sierra was a target, because she's done more. And that's the injustice of this season, is that there's a reason Sierra was a target. And it's not because she was part of 2. It's because she did work. She's been a target since the merge. They saw the control she had and the power she had and the persuasion she had. So she's done more. We just didn't get to see.
Yeah.
But, give her credit. She's been working. She's been playing harder this season.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anything else before we get to tribal? Because how much longer do we have you, Carolyn?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right. Tribal council. So I have a question.
Mhm.
How many people in tribal council were waiting for the right chance to win that extra $500 for saying, has the deck reshuffled? CDS said, $500 if you can say, has the deck reshuffled? She got it in.
She did.
Yeah.
What's funny is last week when Haley said game changers from the jury, production said, you don't get credit for saying it outside the game. You're on the jury. You're not still in the game. You're on the jury.
Yeah. You don't get any extra money for that one.
That's right.
No.
Right.
I only wrote down a few comments from tribal because I liked Andrea. I thought may have kind of put a bigger target on herself when she says everybody on the bottom is an underdog, and if they get to the end, they have a shot at winning this game. Well, there's not only one person at the bottom. There are several people at the bottom. So you just marked a bunch of people as people that could win the game if they're still in the game. So that could combine those people to go against you. So I thought she kind of called out people that could have a chance of winning if she left them in the game. I also liked Aubrey's comment of we each see Survivor through different lenses, and we all have to decide which threat is most threatening to me. I thought that was really good because that sums up how you play Survivor. You play it as a group, but you're still looking at yourself, and you got to play it for yourself.
Yeah.
Hope said the best line. You can't believe a single word at tribal. I mean, that's
yeah. This is what I was going to bring. This is something that I wanted to bring up. Last week you had a buzzer with you, and you said every single thing that was said at tribal council, you buzzed your buzz is a bunch of hogwash.
I'd say 90%. Yeah.
Okay, 90%. Tonight we had a complete honest moment, right?
Yep.
Andrea, Sierra's talking about everybody's talking to people, everybody's da-da-da-da, and Andrea goes, those same people have been talking to me, and so one of us is being lied to. And Sierra's like, yep, that's pretty much the way it is. And, how often do you see that? They were both like, yep, that's pretty much the way it is.
The baloney meter never came out. You're exactly right. There was a lot of blunt honesty. Andrea, Sierra, you want to call anybody out? Yeah, Andrea.
Yeah.
She's a bigger threat than I am.
Yeah.
So
She actually is. I mean,
yeah. Oh, definitely.
They're not that. If you think about it, Andrea's won immunity. So she didn't have immunity then. It probably would have been a good time to get rid of her.
Yeah.
I wonder how Andrea sees Cirie, because to me, I think Cirie has the most influence in that group, but I think she's letting Andrea feel like she's running the group, or she's picking the moves, because last week when she had immunity, she said, I got a little more power now. Let's make a bigger move, which is a good time to make it because you're not in danger. But I feel like that's why you mentioned they're not looking at Cirie, because they're looking at Andrea. They've been talking about Andrea for weeks now, and Cirie's just sitting back going, that girl's a threat. You're right. That girl. No, look at me. Look at that girl. She is a threat, and that's the beauty of Suri playing her social game. And
Exactly.
it's all under the
And
shelter.
her-
All while they're
I
laying
can't
down.
do anything. Game. I'm not going to win this. I'm not going to win that.
Yep. Exactly. And if they let her go to the end, they're crazy. Don't let the woman get to the end.
Exactly.
David's gone crazy.
He's going crazy.
But yeah, so we have so many things out there still. Do you think any of them will get played?
I think ties will only get played if somebody tells them to play it on somebody else. Troyzan, I don't know if
Nobody
he's ever going to
has them.
Right.
if he tells somebody.
Well,
I'm not
I'm
saying that's
surprised
what's
he-
going to happen.
I'm
saying
surprised he hasn't told anybody already, but he has two.
That's true.
And
Troy's got
Sarah
one.
has two. Troy's got one, and we've got 2 episodes left.
right. To be clear, I was saying the only way that he would play one is if someone told him. But he
Right.
hasn't even
So
told
he's probably
anybody.
not going to.
So
Yeah.
that ain't even going to happen. He's just going to go home with 2 idols in his pocket. And then Troyzan, I don't know. I guess it'd have to be the right situation, but he hasn't been in a
Need.
situation where he would need to play it.
All right. So next week we've got 2 votes. We've got next week on where Siri is talking about, I don't even know if I can pull this off. How big a move would this be? To me, that is a move against Andrea.
Me too. I think it's Andrea.
It should be against Sarah, but I think it's against Andrea. And how awesome, incredible would it be? I think next week we get Sarah's comeuppance truth about playing the extra vote the right way. Or was it stealing a vote? Yeah, she steals a vote and uses that vote. Yeah. I think next week we're going to see that. And I think it's going to be Andrea goes first, and I wouldn't be surprised if Suri goes second.
Wait. I thought Sarah's advantage was she gets an extra vote. She doesn't steal someone's vote, and that's her extra vote. She gets an extra vote, and she gets to take someone else's vote away. She gets to nullify.
Away.
No,
So
Debbie got the
nullifies her
extra vote. Debbie got the extra votes. I think Sarah is the vote stealer. So she takes your vote and she votes for you. So that is an extra vote.
No, okay. My understanding was she nullifies someone else's vote. She
Right.
said, Carolyn, your vote does not count. And then, well, maybe it is 6, 1/2 dozen the other.
Yeah, I think
Same
it's just a
thing.
steal. Yeah.
All right.
It's not an extra vote to break a tie. It's actually a vote to change the vote completely.
Right.
It could be a full swing. That
So-
would be the big move.
So we get to final 6, and every single idol is played in one tribal council. Now, that would be interesting.
Wow. So you got
We
3.
had that in not every single, but didn't we have that in in Second Chances where there were like 100 things played and 2 idols played, and then it was tied? And remember that whole tribal council with all that? Nobody even knew like who was supposed to go home.
Is that the one where Keith ended up going home or something? I think it was, they were down to drawing rocks, and it was one person that could draw rocks. So it fell to that one person. Yeah.
Right. And then the only person who wasn't involved in it was Keith. And so
Yeah.
he got, yeah.
All right.
Right.
So you have 6 people, and Ty has 2 idols, and Sarah, let's see.
But he can only use it at 5. 5's the last time you can ever play an idol.
Well, not only,
Right.
but he can
Right.
use it till
But
then.
I'm saying if everybody played their idol at 6, right? Ty plays 2, Troyzan plays 1. That leaves 3 people out there. So, anybody else got? Oh, the advantage.
Sarah has an advantage and
That would be 4 idols played in one tribal. That would be.
See, I wonder if Sarah's going to pull the vote steal, and that's going to spark an idol influx. That would be. It depends on where Ty sits with Sarah. If she pulls that vote steal out and steals Ty's vote, and then then he plays an idol, and then plays it on somebody else or the vote that it got stolen from. That would be big. But we didn't get any big. A tribal council like you've never seen before next week. Yeah, we didn't get that on the
No.
preview.
No, but Probst did do his weatherman. We're gonna have big storms coming.
Yeah, but he did that before the. Well, he could have done it after. You're right. They could have finished the whole season.
Wait,
Then he went back and
he
did
did?
that soundbite.
And
I didn't see it said big storms.
Well,
I didn't see that.
Probst said a storm is coming. That's what.
After Sierra walked off, he turned around to the remaining players and said, "I would say that things are aligned, but they're not. But I think a storm is coming.
A storm is coming
Right.
on the horizon."
But I think that means exactly what you said with the idols.
Yeah.
Next, like next week, I think it's going to be Idle Haven. Like there's I think his storm means like
Yes.
it's going down.
Storm.
Game storm. Yeah.
Maybe
it's good sooner or later because Sarah doesn't want to go with Sheree and Andrea. So sooner or later,
Right.
she's going to have to start pulling the trigger and revealing herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That was good episode discussion. Y'all have anything else about the episode?
I want to know who Sarah Carolyn thinks is in a good seat. Who's going to make it? Now, I'm guessing you're not spoiled, but who do you think is going to be sitting at the end? Who do you think is going to make it through the storm?
Well, I mean, obviously Sarah's in a good position right now. I mean, Ty's in a good position right now, but I don't think he's going to make it to the end.
Agreed.
Who do I think? I mean, Aubrey could make it to the end. Brad could make it to the end because Brad could go. See, the thing is, Brad and Troyzan could be challenge beasts, and they could start winning stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Aubrey's like so far under the radar. So those four are the people that I think are.
Yeah, I don't see how Aubrey could win the game, though. I mean, they haven't.
No, I don't think she'll win.
What
That's-
could she say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's playing from the outside of that group. She's been on the wrong side of a couple of votes, but she's according from the edit, she's on the outside of that group, not making decisions. She even said, "I'll play under Sheree. You know, I'd be glad to play with her.
Right.
You know." And unfortunately, I think the edit has buried her under that.
All right, so if we're going to go the whole edit thing, then the three people that are playing the most right now are Michaela, Andrea, and Sarah, right?
And Sheree.
Yeah, but we get a little conversation at the beginning of the episode with Suri, but we get a lot of Michaela and a lot of Andrea and a lot of Sarah.
We do, but you got to weigh what Sheree says.
Wait, what? Both of you said what?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
I said we just got Michaela like this episode. I don't think Michaela is gonna go to the end.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
And what I was saying was, I think you have to weigh what Sheree says. She hasn't been saying a lot, but what she's been saying has had an impact, and it's been working on Michaela, and I think she has an impact on Andrea to a degree.
Okay. So the three people that are most likely to win right now, Andrea, Sarah, and you would say Suri?
Oh, no. To win is a different ball game. We're talking about, you talked about people playing the most right now, getting the most edit. People with the best chance of winning, I think, are Sarah.
Right.
Andrea, even though I don't think she's going to get to the end.
Right.
And I think if Brad goes with the right people, he could get the, man, I really like Brad this season vote. Because he's been a hardworking, if he gets past this group of people that are standing over him with all this power, that would be a good resume.
No.
If he can get past,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But if he can get past Andrea and Sheree and Sarah, that would look good at the end. I think he could beat Troyzan and Ty.
So what you just said confirms what I said. Andrea, Sarah, and Sheree, because you said Brad's got to get past Sheree to win. I don't think he can beat Sheree. I don't know that anybody can beat Sheree at the end.
The people that I think could win this season, I think Sarah, and I think Brad. I don't know. I think we're confusing the questions and the answers too much.
Well,
after 301 episodes, you think we get on the same page, but
no, we wouldn't. All right. So I don't think anybody can beat Sheree. How about you, Carolyn? Can anybody beat Sheree?
No.
All right. So let's take Sheree out of it.
But I don't think Ceree's going to make it to the end.
All right.
Because if they take her to the end, that would be stupid.
Right, but I see Dwayne's point now. He's throwing each name out there and saying if they're at the end, do they win? And I agree. Sheree, even with what Sarah's done, I think Sheree could still talk circles around her.
Right.
For what she's done.
And then I think Sarah's the next one. Right. So if you don't have Sheree in the final three and Sarah's there, Sarah wins.
I think she could work her way around Andrea with the relationship she's made in the game. I agree.
After that, I don't really have anybody. So for me, it's Cirie.
I would throw Brad. I would throw Brad in third. If he gets to the end, I think he could talk his way into winning. If Sarah's not there and if Cirie's not there.
All right, Carolyn. So you're nodding about Brad. So you agree with that. What do you think about these, Sarah? Do you think that after Cirie, whoever Sarah's with, she wins? Or do you think someone else could beat Sarah besides Cirie?
I think Sarah can win.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So it looks like we're saying Cirie, Sarah, and Brad. That if they're in tribals with anybody else, they win except for.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Carolyn, it has been, this is no time's a good time to say goodbye, but we're about to hit other segments. So we might as well tell you what a joy it's been to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on. You're always fun.
Thank you very much. Love it.
Tell everybody your website.
Yes, Carolyn has a website. Tell everybody.
Oh, yes. So if anyone has any events, any schools, or, I do professional speaking, leadership training, you go to my website, www.carolynjrivera.com.
You're not related to Geraldo, are you?
He is not related to me.
Okay. So
yeah, it's not her not related to him. He is not related to her.
Right. Carolyn J. Rivera. CarolynJRivera.com.
There you have it. Thank you.
It's been a wonderful time having you on the show. Mike K wants to say he wants to give you his best.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Mike K.
All right, Carolyn. Say goodbye.
All right, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Yep.
All righty.
All right. So, David. Well, let me see. I can kick her off. Eject.
I'm trying.
Eject. There she goes.
So before we get into feedback, there's been some good early comments in our chat room.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I won't be able to hit them all. Patty said had a good point that she thinks Zeke is pulling votes at Ponderosa for Sarah.
What do you mean? Like he's getting people to vote?
He's campaigning for Sarah.
Well, sure he would. He and Sarah were close.
But I don't think she'd necessarily need someone to campaign for, but that's so part of the game is Ponderosa.
I wonder what makes her think that. Has she? I haven't watched any Ponderosa videos, so I'm not sure. Is there something in the Ponderosa videos that would lead her to believe that?
I don't know, but they were tight. And this is just more credit for Sarah. How many people can she be tight with? She's tight with Zeke. She's tight with Sierra. Yeah. She's probably tighter with Michaela than we even see because they talk a lot. Good job, Sarah.
Yeah. Really, I think Sarah would deserve the win more than Cirie, but Cirie would get it. It's her fourth time. She's mom, Of course, then whoever wins deserved it. So that's not my point.
Whoever wins is the right winner.
Right. But if they were both second time players or whatever, and Cirie didn't have the emotional vote going her way, I would think Sarah played a better game all around.
Yeah.
Or at least based on what they're showing us, So because it's not just social, it's other things, and Sarah's doing well in other things as well. So after you listen to our show, head on over to stwdd.com and read Ryan Kaiser's blog. It's called Kaiser Island. He posts every week, and he loves to read and reply to your comments. Now, that's what you need to do. You need to go read his blog, and then down underneath, write something. He loves it because then he gets to comment, and he gets to say all the stuff he likes about what you said or what he thinks is stupid or whatever. But talk to Ryan. Go read his blog. And if you like good Survivor blogs, his needs to be on your weekly list. If you have a list, add him to it. You have us on your list, add him to your list. Also, Ryan is going to Los Angeles for the Survivor finale, all kinds of fun. And he has agreed to be the on-site D&D representative, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And we will have a special Survivor Talk episode when he gets back, so we can hear all the juicy stuff that happened at the finale weekend that is family friendly. So it'll be about a 5-minute show.
If you haven't had a chance, or if you haven't seen it in our Facebook group yet, Mike K just mentioned that this week there are jury reaction bonus clips.
Really?
That sounds new. Is that new?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
He said he hasn't viewed them yet, but he thinks they will be enlightening. So I guess they're available. We just got to find out what they are. That's interesting.
It'll be interesting because usually when we see a jury react, you don't know if it was actually to what just happened or just
Right.
what CBS wanted you to hear.
Right. Just like Sarah's fake reaction to Sarah got voted out, and Andrea looking at her like, "What are you reacting to?"
Yeah. So there you go. It's time for listener feedback. And y'all must have been busy this week because we didn't get a whole lot. Well, we get 2.
Yeah.
All right. David's going to read Will the Giant Ninja. And then we have Mere I Am. She gave 2. The second one's to Carolyn, and Carolyn isn't here anymore. But there you go.
We'll have to send it to her. What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, we're down to 8, and there are only 2 episodes left. So it's a perfect time for our good old how do they get there feedback.
Oh, I like this.
Rankings. I love rankings. Survivor is an individual game. Each player has the same goal to win, but different means, best path to the end, best case in front of the jury. So let's look at this game from each player's perspective to see what each of them should be thinking over the final few days of the game. All right. Number 1, Michaela. Michaela made a mistake tonight. Did we miss something? She was effectively told that she's 5th out of 5. But more importantly, she can't beat any of the players above her. Should she happen to make it to the end, Michaela can get to the end by sticking with Sari and Andrea/Aubrey so long as they oust Sarah. But she can't win that way. So Michaela's best move at this point is to convince Ty to flip to the other side with her. She needs to go to the end with Ty and Troyzan, using Brad's vote and the 78 idols that side has in the process. It's not going to happen, but that's what she needs. You agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I think we already said, yeah, she can't beat anybody in her group right now except Ty. Number 2, Ty. Like Michaela, Ty can get to the end, which I actually think he will, with the Sari, Andrea, Aubrey alliance. Each of those women is a good and devious enough player to take him to the end before the other alliance members, as it ensures a win. But just as it ensures a win for Sari to go with Ty and Michaela, it ensures a loss for Ty to go with Sari. Ty needs to team up with Michaela. He needs to stick with players he has a shot against, and he has no shot against the heavyweights he just voted with.
That's right.
Troyzan. Who? Oh, yeah, Troy. He's playing, right?
Yes.
I think he and Aubrey are in the same boat. Honestly, it doesn't matter what Troy does at this point. Hopefully he smells the vote when it comes for him and he plays his idol right. But he's not winning. Troy needs Michaela and Ty to work in their own best interest by using Troy and Brad. If that happens, I don't think Sari, Andrea, Aubrey, Sarah will risk a tie, but he still loses. Sorry, Troy. Number 4, Brad. Here's where it gets interesting. Brad can win against the players above him, which is Michaela, Troyzan, and Ty. He probably won't, but at least he's not drawing dead. Brad's best bet is to keep winning immunities and hopefully work with Michaela and Ty. Aubrey, again, I think she's the victim of an immunity idol, probably next week, but she needs to make a move. If Aubrey wants to win this game, she can't be there with Sari, Andrea, or Sarah. That means that if Aubrey really wants to win this game, she needs to flip on the majority now. Aubrey needs to get together with Brad and Troy and make a big move against Sarah. If she can do that, she gains credibility with the jury. Sure, she can coast to the end as things stand, but she doesn't want to just get there. She wants to win it. Yeah, I think the fear in Aubrey going to Brad and Troy is Brad and Troy go back to the others and say, hey, she's flipping to us. Can we vote her out first?
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Number 6, Andrea. Andrea's in a unique situation. With her challenge wins and her move against Zeke, she has a chance against Sarah and or Sari in the final. So she's not drawing dead by sticking with the majority. That said, she'd do well to dump Sarah and Sari as they both have better cases than she does.
Mm-hmm.
If Andrea can convince Aubrey to make a big move with her, she might pull herself to win the whole game. She needs to get Aubrey, Brad, and Troy to make a move against Cirie in the next vote. And then she needs to rely on everyone being afraid of Sarah at the end. And Andrea could pull an Adam Klein. She could be the best player left standing.
Yep.
Number 7.
Got to get those 3 out of her way or she won't win.
So here's the last 2. Cirie. Cirie is the one player who shouldn't be afraid of anyone because of her status in this game. If she gets to the end, folks will need a reason not to vote for her rather than to vote for her.
Yep.
Cirie should stick to the plan. Though if she could find a way to get rid of Sarah, maybe after Brad and Troy are gone, she'd have another trophy to show everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And number 8, Sarah. Sarah is playing an amazing game, and everyone seems to realize it. She's flipped alliances when it has suited her, and I think she's going to do it again. The only player Sarah should be worried about is Cirie. And not even because of this season, but because of everything Cirie has done in this game before season 34 started. Nevertheless, Sarah would be wise to use her advantage to vote Cirie out. With the vote steal, she wouldn't need to get too many players on board. If she gets through one more vote, she can use the vote steal at 7 with only 2 other players. If those players are Brad and Troyzan, she could even promise in final 3 and write herself the $1 million check. Well, that's all I've got. What about you guys? What do you think? Who's going to win? How are they going to get there? Let me know. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
Hey, it's like we read his question before, which we didn't.
Yeah.
We read his question before because we just answered all of that. You know what?
Go ahead.
I wonder, it's easy to look at the game from on top, right? So we're watching it all and we can say, you know, Cirie has to do this and she's got to make sure she gets Sarah, whatever. But I wonder if when you're in the game, can you really see who has the best shot to beat you in these things? Is it as noticeable when you're actually on the island playing?
Well, me, as someone who has never played the game, has no idea, like we always say. But you still, like Carolyn said, you got to see who Cirie is.
Yeah.
You know, you got to see what she's doing and not doing. And I mean, edit-wise, we see her sitting back having quiet conversations. Right. And edit-wise, we see Andrea standing up and making proclamations and making demands and winning challenges.
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is, what aren't people seeing about Sarah and what she's doing? But what they are seeing is their friend.
Yeah.
Sarah's got so many friends out there. It's going to be hard for her to lose if she gets to the end.
Right. Well, unless she's against Cirie.
That might be a close vote.
Yeah. Neither one of them wants to have the other one in tribal with them or at the finale with them.
Right.
Neither one. So be interesting to see how that goes. All right. Next we have Mere I Am, and she left 2. So we're going to play those.
Hi, Dwaine and David. This is Mere I Am, also known as Vader Girl. Hi, group. Hi, listeners. Loving D&D. I love your guys' podcast. I just can't say it enough. I think you guys have a great thing going, and please keep it up. We really enjoy it. The community you've created. I love your analysis. You guys are just awesome. Anyways, I don't want to run in my 3 minutes. I just wanted to say I loved last night's episode. I think it's one of the most beautiful cast of all time. They are all just gorgeous. Have you noticed how beautiful everybody is? It was like, wow, I think they're all beautiful. Just watching between Andrea and Sierra, I was like, those are 2 of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. So first of all, I just want to say how beautiful they all are. And they seem like genuinely beautiful people. 2, I'm loving Sarah Lucina. Officer Sarah seems like she's unstoppable right now. And she's got 2 advantages and she's just playing very well. I also am happy for Ty. Ty's got 2 idols. He's made some good moves. He seems like he's got Michaela. Michaela, she's becoming quite a force, like her or not. I enjoy watching her. And I do think Michaela and Ty have a good shot of making it to the end. They may not win, but I think they may go to the end. So I'm suspecting it's a combination of Sarah Lucina, Ty, Michaela, Sarah Lucina, Troyzan, Ty, Sarah Lucina, and Ty and Troyzan. Who knows? I mean, some of those 3 combinations possibly will make it. And I think Sarah Lucina is going to win. I would love Cirie to win. What a touching... Cirie. Sorry. My Siri on my phone keeps popping in my head. But Cirie... Sari. I want to see Sari. I would love her to win. What a nice, touching thing with her son. And I just love her. I mean, she's just one of my favorite evers of all time. She's the queen, equal to Sandra. I love them both. And I'm still loving Brad Culpepper. Nice to see Monica. Anyways, I'll be cut off here soon. I'm loving the show. Thank you guys for everything. Eat lots of kale. Black cats are great pets. And hi, Gracie. You guys have great families. Hi, Connie. Hi, everybody in the D&D family and family. You guys are wonderful. Keep succeeding. Keep representing. Keep doing your fellowship. You guys are very needed on this planet. Sending lots of love. May the force be with you always. Bye. I'm back. This is Mirror I Am. Beta girl, whatever. Woman of many names. I'm sorry to call again. I didn't know Mama C, the beautiful, brilliant, fierce, amazing Carolyn was coming back from the Brains tribe, though she could have been on Brawn, she could have been on White Collar or whatever. I don't, the White Collar, whatever season they had. Mama C, you are so loved. Thank you so much for representing beautiful women of all ages. You showed that women of all ages can be fierce, can play, can keep up and beat all younger women, the younger women. You got along with everybody. I loved how you played the game. I loved your social interactions. I thought you were just brilliant. You should have won the game as far as I'm concerned. You really were just fantastic. And I just hope to see you play again. I was heartbroken when they didn't, that whatever that thing was that Jeff had parading people around and saying you got chosen, you didn't. I don't even believe that was real, because how could Shane Powers and you, and then there was what's her name, T-Bird, or come on now. So it was just ridiculous, and I'm so sorry you had to go through that. But please know, the Survivor community, we love you. We are all fans of you. We need more fierce women like you. Please, we'd love to see you again play. Please come back. Keep representing and inspiring us. You look fantastic. You look about 23 forever with that body, girl. We love you. We love you, Mama C. Thank you for being on D&D. I just had to call and let you know we love you. May the force be with you, girl. And hope to see you soon. Sending you lots of love, Carolyn. Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby. Crutch, she said something in the first half hour that I don't remember. What did she say? Mirror I Am.
Sure.
I was going to respond to it. Oh, well. Did she say anything you wanted to say anything about?
No, but she got me thinking about some speculation. And I would like to talk about it for just a few minutes after we're towards the end, in case anybody doesn't want to listen.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I wish I remember what she said. Oh, I know what it was. You know how I always joke with her about why does she eat black cats? This time she said, black cats make great pets. Yeah.
Have you ever tried kale?
No.
I don't think I have either.
Do I look like I've tried kale?
If she sends in a feedback for every week, we should probably at least try it on the air.
No, we really shouldn't, David.
Come on.
Trying kale.
I've never had kale.
No. Hey, for those of you who are still with us, thank you for hanging around. David, so you have something to say like after the outro music or right before the end of the show?
Let's do it after. That way, if people don't want to hear like speculation about the end. I mean, this is like...
You can always speculate about the end, though. I mean...
I know, but it's
we don't know anything.
It's not a spoiler. It's just what people have mentioned about... It's not a spoiler, though. I know. Well, I'll explain it when we get after the music.
Okay. Well, you know better than I do because you know what you're talking about. So if you're still with us, thank you for hanging around. If you have an unexplainable desire to support us financially, head on over to our website, stwdd.com, and scroll down. There you will find two fancy flippy things for both Amazon and Patreon. And you can, it's funny, you just put your mouse over and it flips around. It's kind of fun to play with. You know, have those little gadgets now. Why do that when you go to our website and flip little flippy things?
There you go.
Yeah. So that's it for me, David. Do you have any final words to share with our D&Ders?
Never reveal every aspect of the advantage.
Never reveal every aspect of the advantage to someone else, I'm assuming.
To anyone.
Well, obviously to someone else.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
So what should she have? Are you talking about Sierra?
I have no problem with Sierra trying to gain Sarah's trust and loyalty with the advantage. But I tell you, when we had Jason on, Jason is so creative. He talked about Debbie coming back and saying, "Hey, I got an idol, but I have to play it on somebody else at this point in the game. So keep me around to this point in the game, and I'll play it on you." You know, but if I go, the idol goes. You know, he was talking about come back with a story that keeps you in the game, that keeps you excited about it. And I thought about, you know, Sierra could say something to the effect of, "I get to play this on somebody else." You know, she didn't have to say. I mean, the worst thing you can say is, "I haven't told anybody that I won the lottery, and here's my ticket."
Right.
You know, so
yeah, especially
you know,
if you're alone in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
that's like there was this girl several years ago who on Facebook posted a picture of her with all this cash in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour later, they break into her house and take her cash.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, hello. There's just some things you don't say. All righty then. That is it for us, except for David has some interesting stuff to talk about after the outro music. So see you later.
See ya.
All right, David. So what do you have to say?
Well, we've been somebody told us that production was not totally happy with the season, right? Didn't we? Was it this season we heard that, or was it a past season?
I neither confirm nor deny that, but that very well could be the case.
We've talked about it. We've talked about it in the show, haven't we?
Okay.
Okay. So what I wanted to speculate on was what's a final three that production would not be happy with?
Oh.
I know. I mean, they know the final three, so surely they would work a story in where they're going to give us somebody in the final three that we, you know, would make sense. But I mean, if we got Ty, Michaela, who's the least popular person at camp or has been, and Troyzan, who hasn't gotten any confessionals.
Yeah, but
you know, they
would vote for Ty because they love Ty and they hate Michaela, and Troyzan is kind of there.
Know.
Right.
I was just speculating on who would be a final three that production would say, "Oh, we were so close to getting Sarah to the end or getting Sari to the end,"
or who would be a winner. You know, who would be a winner that they would be upset about, like Michaela, probably,
or like Sarah loses, or Sari gets there and loses. You're right. That's probably a better perspective.
Oh, yeah,
strong final three, but in production's mind, the wrong person wins.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like okay, so like if it's Michaela and Sari at the end and Michaela wins, production might be upset.
I think they'd be okay for Michaela, but you're right. Probst wants her to win. He even said at the beginning of the season, yeah, you're right. They want
it's her fourth time playing, you know.
Makes the final again.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, so far nothing's been disappointing for me. I don't really understand why people don't like this season. There's some people that just really don't like it. I know we've talked about this before. I said it last week. I don't understand why they don't like it. As far as the game goes, you know.
But even if it got to Ty and Michaela, and I don't mean to pick on Aubrey or Troy, but we haven't gotten anything from them. So if it's one of those three, they got there because they played, you know. And like Bruce is saying, maybe it's three people that nobody would root for, you know.
Are you sure this was this season?
No, I'm not. That's why I was asking. That's what my case asked, my contacts. No, because we have heard in the past that production was not happy with something or other, or something happened, you know, but I'm sure they weren't happy when Malcolm went out pre-merge, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a final three that production would not be happy with, but it's here, near, there. So I think if you get to the end, you're supposed to get to the end.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean, well, okay. Why would production, or why would CBS show us the edit they're showing us if Troyzan's going to win, or if Aubrey's going to win,
or Aubrey, right?
Or if Ty's going to win? Why would they show us this edit? I mean, that would be.
I agree. That's why I think your thought may be more in point that if this is a season that production was not happy with, the wrong person won, which
Right.
I don't think this jury would do. I think this jury loves Sari. I think they're going to respect Sarah if she gets to the end. They would respect Andrea if she gets to the end with the right people. Even Brad.
Okay, Mike makes a good point. Maybe this is what you're talking about. I don't think they were happy to lose all the big names first.
So halfway through, they could have been disappointed with
Yeah,
the ones
they were
that
like,
were left.
"Dadgummit, we lost all these big names right off the bat."
Yeah, Malcolm, JT, Sandra, all these big players.
People actually played smartly.
Right.
Yeah, and then
That's a good
Bruce
point.
said they weren't so thrilled with Michelle winning. Yeah, and Patty says it again. I think all the big players going out in the beginning.
That's a good point. Maybe it's not the end. Maybe it's the merge. Yeah. Good point. They would love to have seen.
I don't remember if it was this season or not.
Or I don't remember now. Yeah, I don't remember if it was a season. If they said it was the end that they were disappointed with, maybe it was like you said, the merge. That makes more sense.
Yeah. I don't know. By the way, I saw. Do you have anything else?
I saw something too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this new Dark Tower trailer.
Okay.
All right. I know we're going to talk about pirates too.
I'm echoing. I can hear myself.
Hello.
Okay. That's gone.
You. Have. Okay, so I've read the Dark Tower series 3 times. All right, which I realize if you're a huge Stephen King person, that's nothing. Right? There's people that have read The Stand 10 times, 15 times. The Dark Tower series is 7 books, 6 of which are incredibly long.
I thought it was 8.
Well, there's the one that he put in afterwards, but I don't really consider that part of it. I mean, we're talking 23 hours of audiobook listening a piece, except for the first one.
Gotcha.
So I'm watching the trailer, and I don't even know if the 3 are even in it. All I'm seeing is the boy, is Jake, and Roland. Did you see any of the other 3?
No,
but
I actually, because I don't know this is nearly as good as you do. I've only read it through once, and that was at your urging, and I did enjoy it very much. But I went and found, the breakdown of the Dark Tower trailer. Smart people like you breaking it down, pulling it apart piece by piece, frame by frame, and looking at.
Yeah, that's not me.
Well, I mean, but enough to, if you saw certain things, you'd recognize certain things.
Right.
But
I recognize different books.
Yes, they said this is not a movie adaptation of the books, but this is based off the books.
Okay, it's based off the book. So I didn't see anything from the second book, the drawing of the 3.
And what is it called? The quartet, whatever it is that what it's called?
Yeah, I didn't see any of the quartet. So I saw Roland and Jake. So I saw book 3 is when they pulled Jake out, which is an amazing scene, and I saw that in the trailer.
People smarter than me said they saw the first 3 books in this trailer. So
but I don't see the second book. Where did they see any of the second book? Because the whole second book is the drawing of the guy and the double. I don't want to give anything away, but
I think what they're saying is if the third book is in it, there's probably going to be parts of the second book. I guess that's what they're thinking. That
I don't know, because the second book was all about those 2 characters or those 2 characters.
Yeah.
And there's some really good stuff. Although what they might do is use Jake in the role of, I think it's Eddie. Use Jake in the role of Eddie, and Roland goes to New York with Jake rather than Eddie. Gosh, I hope it's Eddie. I
think you're right. I think it is Eddie.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then you got Odetta Holmes and right.
Yeah, but this is also what I read was this is like one of 2 movies and then a series, or is it one movie then a TV series?
Well, there's no way you could tell the whole story.
Oh, right. So it's going to turn into a TV series.
Okay, so book 4, is it book 4? Well, whichever. The one that's basically a book by itself that goes back in time with a Roland and Cuthbert, and they do the whole Western thing.
Yeah.
That could be a movie by itself, and it would be an excellent movie.
That was one of my favorite books, yes.
Right? See you later, Bruce. Oh, is Bruce? Yeah, Bruce. Shawshank and Green Mile. Good movies and good books. So that could be a movie by itself. So could the one with the robot. Well, I'm sorry, with the wolves.
Yeah.
That could be a book by itself. You don't need those 2 books to make the Dark Tower story as far as a movie.
Right.
My favorite part of the Dark Tower series is when they meet Stephen King, who is the author of them.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That is just amazing. It is such a creative masterpiece.
My neat part was all I can picture of Roland is Clint Eastwood.
Well, yeah.
And then later in the story, they see a poster.
Yeah.
With Clint Eastwood.
It's Clint Eastwood.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, though, man. Whew. You know, in the book, they talk about how fast Roland loads his gun and everything. I love the way they're doing it in the trailer.
So fast they had to do it in slow motion.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
So we saw that trailer along with several others when we went to see Tuesday night for Davis's birthday, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Really? They showed Dark Tower before that. I guess Dark Tower is going to be PG-13, I guess.
They showed a couple trailers that may not have been necessarily suitable for younger children.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're showing Dark Tower. Okay.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy may not have been suitable for young children either, because they threw a lot of words in there, a lot of references.
A lot of adult references.
Adult references, yes.
Why do they do that?
Take those out. I mean, the adult references are kind of funny, but they're also inside jokes. And take out some of the language that wasn't necessarily needed. It was mind blowing in the sense that it was nonstop. It's probably the most comic book like movie they've made, I think.
Oh yeah,
it's very out there. A lot of the stuff is like straight is stuff you could imagine being in comics. Very funny. I laughed quite a bit. I even teared up a few places.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just covered a lot of ground. It was very entertaining, but it was like, wow. You know, just there were some parts I wasn't a big fan of. I won't go into detail because it's still new out there. But it was really, it's, I wish I almost saw it in 3D. It's just one of those movies that you're like, I wonder what this would be like in 3D. I'm not a 3D fan, but it's one I would consider seeing in 3D.
Yeah. Do you remember you saying that you teared up, reminding me of that time we were at the movies with a bunch of guys, and I laughed so hard I was on the floor.
Dodgeball.
In the middle of the movie theater. See, that scene would have never been that funny if it had just been me and my wife at the movie.
Yeah.
But when you get 5 guys together and they show the guy throwing wrenches at people, you start dying laughing. Everybody's laughing. You end up on the floor dying laughing. That was one of my favorite memories of it.
Well, it's funny because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. But
exactly.
What's not funny is when your friend recommends Anchorman for Valentine's Day.
What? Who did that?
You.
I did not.
You did. You told me it was not. You. I don't think you'd seen it yet, but you said, "Oh, that's going to be so funny," and we went and saw that for Valentine's Day. It's not a movie you see with your girl.
I did not advise you to see it on Valentine's Day.
You advised us.
I said it was a good movie, not for you to go see it on Valentine's Day.
I think that's what the next time was coming up, and we saw that. I was like,
"Oh my! Well, that's not my fault. That's your fault."
That was for not researching. That's why I research movies now to get a better idea.
That's
now
like I was very young in the ministry, like literally 2 years in the ministry. So like 25 years ago, are you ready for this? I took a group of students to go see Dumb and Dumber. No, or else Brewster's Million. No, not Brewster's, or the 2 Canadian guys that make all the beer. I think it was Dumb and Dumber though. What the heck was I thinking? All these students were looking at me going, "You brought us to this movie?"
Oh, you're thinking the 2 guys that talk to A all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moose brothers or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Rick Moranis and the other guy. That wasn't Dumb and Dumber though.
No, but it was one of those 2 movies. But anyway, what in the world was I thinking? And why did their parents even let them go? Why didn't they call me and fire me? I don't understand. It's like, what are you thinking? You're taking our kids to see this movie? What? How is this going to be spiritually uplifting? But anyway.
I had to look this up because somebody else brought this up before, the 2 guys, and it's Bob and Doug McKenzie. I don't remember what the movie was called.
Go get some of that, eh?
Yeah, that's funny. Strange Brew.
Yes, I think that's the one that I actually took him to see. Was
1983?
Huh?
1983?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Early in your ministry, you wouldn't know.
83. I was what? 8th
Yeah,
grade.
you're still in 8th grade.
Well, anyway, I took them to an inappropriate movie I should not have taken them to. But then there was another scene in a movie that I'm not going to discuss that I was by myself at the movie theater and I could not stop laughing. And sure enough, the guys around me also could not stop laughing, right? There were guys with dates at this movie and I'm by myself and I can't stop laughing at this one scene. And the guys start looking at me and they start laughing and everybody's laughing except for the women. They're the ones that are not laughing. They're like looking at they're like, whoa, Miriam took her son to go see 8 Mile. Wow. Okay, I don't feel so bad.
Well, see, what's funny about that is you can't control your laugh. When you start laughing in a theater, it's an out loud.
That's the only
laugh
two times I've done it.
I know, but I can see them laughing at you because of that.
I don't mean yeah, but I'm talking about where I literally could not stop myself from continuing to laugh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mike K. Similar story. We took our youth group to see Airplane. Wash. You got the whole autopilot. You gotta blow up the autopilot. Wow. That's like taking your kid to the police academy or something. Oh my goodness, Miriam White. We saw Porky's in my church youth group.
All right, this sounds like a podcast. We should have the worst movies we went to see or took people to see podcast.
Movies you should have never taken your. My parents took me to see Arthur. I couldn't believe it. I was like 4th grade.
Mine took me to see Conan the Barbarian. I won't tell you how my mom tried to pronounce his last name. It was not pretty. And she did it out loud.
Oh gosh. No. All right. Man, I have such a bad cough. All right, so let's talk about the Pirates. Have they named it? Because I didn't see a name at the end of it.
Yeah, it's I Really Don't Care.
That was the name of it. I literally don't care. Wait, you don't want to?
That's my name of it. I'm so over the Pirates.
Oh come on! Why not? It's fun.
I'm trying to see if I can
or do you feel like it'd be like another National Treasure movie?
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Now, I like some of the people in it, but I mean, how many times can we see Jack Sparrow act like Jack Sparrow?
Kind of the main guy in the movie.
I know, but I'm just
like Peter Pan movies because how many times can you see Peter Pan?
Let's just have a different series of pirate movies. We were at the movie theater waiting to see Game of Thrones, and there's like 6 posters on the wall. It was the next Star Wars. It was Spider-Man Homecoming. It was Justice League. It was Villarreal, which is a sci-fi comic book movie. It was Planet of the Apes, and it was something else. And I was talking to Davis and his friend. He brought a friend. I said, all right, pick your movies. In what order would you want to see them? And he picked Pirates like second or third. He can't wait to see it. And I'm like, that's like last. He goes, even in front of this other movie I've never heard of? I said, yeah, I'm just tired of these pirate movies. I like pirate movies, but I love Master Commander. But I mean, I'm just kind of over Jack Sparrow right now.
All right. So speaking of movies that surprise you, right? So Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes, has just flat out male nudity in it, and it's rated G. Just plain old male nudity, like all over the place. Do you remember that movie? You've seen it, right?
Not that part of it. Yeah, I remember it. Was it when they hose him down or something? Or
no, that was later. It's when they discovered the big pool of water, and they all strip off all their clothes, and you only see bottoms, but sometimes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. That's in the movie. Then there's another movie, and I can't remember what it's called, and it's in outer space. We talked about it in our movie podcast with my brother. Mm-hmm. Nathan and Bailey wanted to watch it, remember? And we didn't let them. Oh, no. We did let them because it was rated G, and it had like, oh my gosh, like outright sex in it. And then there was one scene where it's freezing outside, but when they get out of the ship, she like takes off all her clothes and then says, "I'm cold," and puts her clothes back on.
I don't remember this at all. You sure I was the friend that you did that with and let child see?
Yeah, Bailey was there, and they were like, Dad, are you sure this is rated G? Now I got to look it up because now you got me wondering. Let's see. Let's look up rated G movies that should not have been. Oh, so I just finished Marcella. That was really good.
Is that on Netflix? What's that on?
I think it was on Netflix. See, now I watch some Amazon Prime stuff and AMC and FX. So anyway, all right, Planet of the Apes.
I don't have.
Is it no? Let's see. Solium and B, another film, Oliver. I'm looking. You got anything else you want to talk about while I'm trying to find this?
No, not particularly.
Well, crud, because I'm trying to find this movie.
I'm trying to help you. G-rated movies that should not have been. We need to do another movie talk with you, and we haven't done it in a while.
I know. We got to do some during the summer. But, you know, I really kind of like the ones where we reminisce more than new movies.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, crud, I can't find it. I'll look up space movies that were rated G. Let's see. Space movies that were rated G. We still have viewers watching us. Hey, thanks for watching us. The greatest G-rated sci-fi films in the galaxy. All right. Oh, wait, no. Let's go to this one. It's 8 sci-fi classics you won't believe were rated G.
There you go.
All right, here we go. So, first one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's some brutal killing in that thing.
Yes.
Let's see. What? Oh, it's one of those where they make you go to every single page, you know, so they can get all their ads and make money on all those ads. Let's see. Okay, Planet. Where's the next one? Oh, okay. Planet of the Apes, Dark Star. Planet of the Apes, waiting for Planet Rose City, Planet of the Apes, Independence Day. Well, crud, I can't find it. Mike, Miriam White says Planet of the Apes had nudity on the TV show also.
Oh, wow.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna look at this one. Y'all, this is what you call just David and I just chilling out. You get to, and you're just watching it with us. Let's see.
Yeah, you got me wondering too.
Marooned, 1969. Let's see. The Cat from Outer Space. Silent Running. Now, this is just the best sci-fi movies. Let's see. 2009. That were rated G. The Love Bug? What the heck? Okay. Star Trek, Motion Picture, Planet of the Apes, 1968. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. That's interesting. Grease had nudity? When did Grease have nudity? Do you remember Grease having nudity?
No.
I know the songs were just blatantly sexual.
Yeah.
I can't believe I cannot find this movie. This is so frustrating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm tempted to
What
do?
you're talking about.
I'm tempted to go just to the other room and grab it. Do you mind if I do that?
You have the DVD?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Oh, nothing like Dead Space. Yeah. I don't see anything that he's talking about. Yeah, a lot of movies down there. Even Annie had cursing that would not even make PG-13. I do remember that. Let's see. Most inappropriate PG movies of all time. "16 Candles." Jaws, that keeps popping up.
I found it. Oh, I found it.
Yeah, talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, are you? I was looking at the list.
All right, are you ready?
Give me a hint so I can see if I can guess it.
All right, I will
Who's in
read
it?
you the description. Oh my gosh. Farrah Fawcett is in it.
No.
All right, here it is. Live it up today. Your time is up tomorrow. In the year of the city 2274, humans forsake the ravaged outer environment by living in a vast, bubbled metropolis. Their computerized servo mechanisms provide all needs, and everyone can pursue endless hedonism.
And you let our children watch this?
You did too.
I don't
Endless.
think I was there.
Endless. That is until last day. That's when anyone who's 30 must submit to Carousel, a soaring, spinning trip to eternity and supposed rebirth. So when you turn 30,
What in the world?
the screen's first use of laser holography
Hologram.
provides some of the sci-fi kicks in this post-apocalyptic saga, honored with a Special Achievement Academy Award for visual effects. Michael York plays Logan.
Is this Logan's Run?
Huh?
Logan's Run?
Logan's Run.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that, but I've
Ladies and gentlemen, do not show this movie to your children.
wow.
Yeah, like literally, when he comes home from work, he like goes into a room and the computer makes him feel very happy he's home from work.
Okay.
And it's rated G. Oh, no,
I think
PG. It's rated PG.
I remember that, but I don't remember. Well, I didn't know anything about the movie, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Do you remember the robot? Did you see the blue robot?
No, I've never seen the movie.
Oh, okay. All right. Mirror I Am. What were you not allowed to watch, Mirror I Am?
Probably
Anyway, Saturday Night Fever had some stuff in it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So you don't want to see the new Pirates movie. You know,
I will see it, but I'm not excited about it.
I literally have not been to a movie theater in a year.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just enjoying, in all seriousness, I'm enjoying FX shows, AMC shows.
I just realized last week that Saul was already through several episodes. I think I told you that, and I haven't even watched any of them yet.
Yeah. I think I'm one episode behind, and I'm maybe 2 episodes behind of The Americans, which excites me because that means tomorrow when I'm off work, I can watch some good TV.
And Fargo's already into a couple episodes. I haven't seen any of those either.
Fargo. I went to go look at that, and it's already on season 3.
Yeah.
So where do I watch seasons 1 and 2?
On demand? Can you buy the package on iTunes or something? FX on demand?
FX on demand. I do have FX on demand, but it's not showing the first 2 seasons. Like in the same way that is it AMC that has
Walking Dead?
Who has The Americans? Who has that? FX?
It's FX.
AMC. Mm-hmm. Like FX, you can't watch the first couple seasons of The Americans on there either. You have to go
Where do you find it?
On Netflix. No, on Amazon Prime.
Amazon, right.
Man, I like getting done early. It's 9:40.
It's 10:40. I'm gonna get to bed before 11.
And we have just as many people watching us live right now as we did during this show. How crazy is that?
Yeah, Becky says that Fargo was on Netflix. Not sure if it still is.
So I could watch it. Well, let me look, because so I remember watching the movie Fargo with my wife, and when the movie was over, she said, "Dwaine, that movie was a complete waste of 2 hours of my life because it was just evil and bad."
The shows are much better. Fargo's not on Netflix right now. Shoot.
Fargo.
Yeah, it's not on.
It might be on Amazon Prime.
Might be, yeah.
Fargo was on Netflix. Not sure if it is. Mir I Am says FX. We know that Mir I Am, but we're trying to find it season 1. Not that I don't have time to watch it right now. But and I don't want to get caught up in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Another movie, yeah. You know what? Hulu seems like a waste of money to me because it's like the network shows. And they
probably go to the library and rent Fargo.
Library? What's that?
Yeah, library has movies, free movies. Terry comes home with 10 movies every week, and I am interested in 2 of them.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go to the library and rent movies. I'm sorry, David. I'm just not like, not gonna do that. I'm not.
That's where I get series that I haven't heard of before, like Luther.
All right. Amazon.com, Fargo season 1. Oh, that's if you want to buy it. What's the other movie that was really violent? The name of it is on the tip of my tongue. All Men Wear Blue.
Country for Old Men?
Yes, Country for Old Men.
Yes. That's on Netflix right now.
That was pretty violent. You know what movie I want to watch that I cannot find anywhere right now?
Wait a minute. No, Country for Old Men is one of those movies where the black hat wins. That was a conversation in our Facebook group this week about the white hats and the black hats. That's one where the black hat wins. Yeah. What movie can you not find right now?
Inglourious Bastards.
I love that movie.
I love that movie.
It was on Netflix.
It's not anymore.
That's too bad. You should have caught it when it was.
You know what I realized? I read Christine. Never going back to books. I read Christine when I was probably 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah,
and I really liked it. Like I didn't remember a thing about it except it was a car. Of course, you know how I am. I don't remember anything about the movies. Mm-hmm. That's why I can go back and read The Dark Tower, and I don't remember Eddie's name and Odette. It's just like, oh yeah,
it's like reading it for the first time all over again.
That happened. It's like I have Alzheimer's, and I don't have Alzheimer's. But I don't remember if I do. But I don't have that on anymore.
Gotcha.
So I read Christine when I was a kid, and it had fond memories, right? Like Pet Sematary has fond memories, and I really want to read it again, but I want to listen to it again, right? Yeah. So Audible.com had Christine, so I bought it. I like get these credits every month, so I bought it. You go back now, it's not available anymore. It was like only available for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. But you got it when it was, right?
Yeah, but now I want Pet Sematary. The only book that ever scared me out of my mind.
Oh my gosh. That was probably my first Stephen King book.
See, I didn't because stupid
parts I had trouble sleeping.
Go ahead, what?
When it got to certain parts, I had trouble sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. And the ending totally caught me off guard. I mean, I don't know why I wasn't expecting it, but oh my gosh. And apparently the movie's ending is totally different.
Yeah, that's part of why I read it, because the movie was coming out and it was terrible.
Yeah, well, anyway. All right. I think I've told you this before. I can't even hardly watch network TV anymore.
It's too slow. Once a week? Nah.
Well, not only that, but it's just, it doesn't rise to the level of FX and AMC shows. I mean, look at Taboo. Oh my gosh. There is not a network show that even comes close to that, or Peaky Blinders. Nothing even comes close to that, or The Americans, or any of these shows that we like so much.
Yeah.
So
anything I watch it's on network, if it's not sports, it's like a Deadliest Catch or something like that. And I usually just binge those on the weekends.
Yeah.
I don't even watch those live anymore.
The problem is Connie doesn't like these shows that I like, and she likes shows on network TV, so we don't get to watch TV all that much together.
Well, the good thing about Terry's mom coming to live with us now is that she finally has somebody to watch all of our Hallmark movies with. She's got like 75 on. She's got like Christmas movies still on there.
So. Oh wait, no, I like the Hallmark movie channel. I do, but I wouldn't want to watch it all the time.
Yeah, it's like cheap soap operas. But anyway,
oh well. All right, it's been fun, David. Chat.
Take
I'm
us off the
sorry.
air.
Timothy, what?
Oh,
He
I got
wants,
something when you take us off the air, but go ahead.
oh, okay. Timothy graduates next year, next month, next
I was
week.
gonna say, you've been doing that already.
Dude, my youngest child is graduating, and my oldest is getting married.
My youngest is getting ready to start this last year of middle school.
Oh my goodness, David, where does time go?
Down
My
a drain
boys.
and never comes back.
My boys, they're getting older on me. All right. We're
Chat
gonna
room.
because David wants to tell me something. Do what?
I said thank you, chat room, for sticking around.
Yeah. By the way, Gracie didn't show up in the chat room tonight. What's she doing?
She's here. No, she's here.
Oh, okay.
She was gonna pop in. I told her to pop in and say hi before 10 o'clock, but she didn't know she'd get tied up doing something else.
All right. Bye, everybody. It's been fun.
See ya.
We love.